This is Team 84's Project 4 final video presentation. The region we picked to focus on to design our product to help alleviate poverty was rural Appalachia. This region is close to home for us since we're all from around the Ohio and Kentucky area. The Appalachian region covers 420 counties across 13 states. It's often overlooked as a rural, poverty-stricken population in the United States. The climate in this region has distinct summers and winters, and the temperature is mild that ranges from 10 degrees Fahrenheit to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It also has faced a lot of climate change impacts, such as the loss of biodiversity, increased flooding, and impacts to the economies in the region. The primary characteristics of rural Appalachia include its isolation, which is caused by the rugged landscape. And because it's a very mountainous region, it's really hard to access and there's very poor infrastructure. So the culture and self-sustaining ways of the region is mostly based around the kind of culture of isolation. And they have really unique folk music and art. The economy of rural Appalachia is mainly coal mining dominated, and this causes a kind of resource curse. The land in rural Appalachia is really rich in coal, but that means that not many other industries can thrive. There is some ecotourism with the Appalachian Trail that goes through the mountains, and people like to hike and use those recreationally. The reason this region qualifies as a poverty-stricken region is that its poverty rate, especially around Kentucky and West Virginia, is 28.4 to 41% compared to the US poverty average of 14.6%. They also have many dimensions of poverty, such as the lack of education, lack of assets, poor nutrition, and poor health and sanitation, which we're trying to resolve through this project.
Rural Appalachian has many needs, as in unfinished education. One way to fix this is having more accessible education. You can see by our graph, average rate of people who graduate from high school is down below at 87%, and rural Appalachia is quite below that percentage. So another situation is economy distress, which leads to their needs in diverse economy, better infrastructure, the need for more diverse jobs. Some other addressed needs are poor health, which leads to obesity, cardiovascular disease, black lung disease, substance abuse. All of these leads to shorter lifespans. So what this region needs is better healthcare, better equipment when they are working in the mines, better safety equipment. Criteria and specifications. Our group is going to focus more on black lung disease. We plan to make a personal use product to help decrease the amount of coal dust that coal miners are inhaling. So we first looked at the cost. A normal salary for a coal miner is $50,000 a year. Then initial cost should be about $500 of the product. The reoccurring cost should be about $50 a month to keep the product working as it should be. Environmental, the product should not be a single use. They'll be able to use it again and again. If it's battery powered, it will be rechargeable. The function, it should improve the average mining lifespan by 5 years. It'll decrease black lung rate for coal miners by 20%. The size, we hope to keep it on the smaller side because it will be a personal product, weighing less than 110 pounds. And then the lifespan of the product should at least last up to 5 years with proper maintenance.
So we have decided to create a product that will warn the user if there is coal dust in the area and if their mask is working by an array of lights right next to their eye that you can see. how this thing will work is we'll have a small computer case mounted to the back of the safety helmet that has a battery and a small motherboard, which connects to a light, like an infrared light, and an infrared sensor that connects to the inside of where a filter will attach on the mask. Then we'll have 3 indicator lights. The first one is just a power light, make sure the power is working so the user can tell whether or not they need to recharge or not. Then we'll have one that'll warn the user about external sensor readings, and then one that's internal. The internal one will be behind the filter to monitor the filters working, and the external one will monitor the general area to make sure that the mask is worn at the appropriate times. So our product differs from current products on the market because mask helmet combinations do exist, but none of them tell you whether or not the area is safe. The current products have no standard on when to change filters or when everything should be worn. Current air monitoring systems exist, but they are bulky and they are not integrated into helmets. Our product will be small, sleek, and effective. So when our product is used properly, it should reduce the black lung rate in minors, but therefore improving their health and quality of life and their life expectancy. It should assist them in being healthier people and having more money because they wouldn't have to spend it on treatment, and they could work longer. And if they don't have black lung, they hopefully live longer.
The cost of our product, for the design process, we spent an estimated 51.1 hours. And then the rate of payment, which is $40 an hour plus the 1.78 factor for additional costs. For the prototype and testing, we estimate that that'll be around 17.5 hours spent. And then the $40 pay again. And then finally, for the materials estimate for a prototype, we think it'll be about $50. And then for a final product, as in buying a helmet, buying a respirator, and then attaching our new system to it, we estimate that'll cost around $200. So the impact that we think our product will have is based on 2 metrics. The mean years of life lost, which is just how many years of life expectancy is taken off the average miner. And then the incidence rate, which is just the percentage of miners that have black lung disease. So the current trends are shown in the solid line. The dotted line is just a trend line for it. We've extended it out 5 years because black lung usually takes at least 5 years to develop and present symptoms. And then after that, we have the dashed line. That's after our product is being used for the past 5 years. That should help miners that haven't developed black lung yet or have developed a less severe case. That'll start bringing down the rates of black lung and the number of years of life lost. And we have our projection continuing until it reaches the specifications that we've set. It should be around the late 2020s.
With this coal dust sensing product, we hope to alleviate poverty in rural Appalachia at least a little bit. Here are our sources. And we hope that we're successful in creating this product to alleviate poverty because we are a diverse group of engineering students from a wide variety of majors, and we've done extensive research on how our product can improve poverty in this region. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at these emails.